COSM is showing some signs of strength. Let's go over those details now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so COSM on the daily chart here had a very nice push to the upside, and it could be in respects to, actually, my buddy Josh Stye actually told me that the 10K filings came out today, displaying that share buybacks can officially start, right? So it looks like the price action did get a little bit of a pump to the upside, particularly to that 374 range before actually coming right back down, right? It's still closing green on the day though, so this is a good psychological close. Okay, you guys, and it's now back into that chop zone that we were talking about from actually a while back, right? So this is a good thing. We're facing some pretty nice support. And even today's price action, right from the golden pocket, right? The golden pocket is located between the 0.382 Fibonacci ratio and the 0.618. So right from that zone, we got that massive bounce to the upside and came right back down. Let's see what else we have in store, okay, you guys? So what I mean by signals firing off is let's see. Yeah, it's actually this. Check this out. So this is the 5-day volatility versus momentum backtest, and I would like to express the fact that we have DMI support as well. Okay, DMI is actually the strength of or market trend, right? So the ADX represented by this white dotted line, and the DMI for bulls is the green line, and DMI for bears is the red line, right? So whoever's on top is the person leading, or I'm sorry, the group leading, right? So, and also whenever DMI is 25, or I'd say about 30% and up, that usually represents strong market trend, okay? And it favors whoever is on top. So in this case, you can see ADX at 35, almost 36%, while the bulls are on top, okay? So this is a very good sign as well. The next thing I want you to notice is the upside pivots on both the EMA 3 and the SMA 14 with contraction, okay? So that now, I mean, it's a 5-day iteration, right? So this is going to take this can take some time, right? So please remember here, the average was 116 and a quarter days, right? So out of a total 6 iterations throughout the entire trading history of the COSM asset, there have been 6 out of 6 guessed correctly to the upside. Okay, so I know it's a 100% accuracy. That's likely to change at one point or another, right? It's not likely for this thing to stay at 100%, right? So, yeah, we don't have that much data historically speaking, right? So this is what we have to work with. So with that upside accuracy of 100%, we have an average upside thrust of 162.05% over the duration spoken of, right? So, and now this is 162.05% with a standard deviation of 373.40, which gives us the lower end of a first standard deviation, or the lower bound, right? So that would give us a 78.10% move, okay? So this is more along the lines of the target that I would like to focus on, right? So this is something that we spoke about before. So that target would actually take us to about $5.48 based on the statistical metrics here of the 5-day iteration. Okay, so now let's go ahead and jump on right over here, because there is now another setup kind of brewing as well. Okay, so this is, again, volatility versus momentum. In this case, this is the 8-hour critical contraction, which is right down here within the 15 percentile, to expansion paired with paired with momentum with an upside pivot. Okay, you guys. So I would like to show again that we do have DMI support officially, right? So you can see that the bulls are obviously above the bears with an upside pivot here. And you can see that we even have a slight upside pivot on the ADX sitting at 35% 8-hour, guys. So we have market trending for the bulls in the COSM asset in now 2 different time frames. Okay, so this is very, very nice, and the stochastics are starting to show that upside pivot. Okay, you guys, so what we want to see actually is this. We want to make sure that both the volatility component of the BBWP, which represents volatility, we want that spectrum line and the moving average both pivoted towards the upside. Okay, so now we officially got the touch of critical volatility within the 15 15th percentile, right? So if this thing were to start increasing volatility, then that would be great. And we would need absolutely the moving average and the volatility component pitched to the upside to officially fire the metrics within this backtest, right? So throughout the entire trading history of COSM on the 8-hour chart, you're looking at 9 total iterations, of which 6 were guessed correctly to the upside, giving us a 66% accuracy with an upside thrust of a massive 206%, almost 207% over the span of about 6 days, which is, which it hasn't fired yet, right? So we want to make sure that we can get that signal fired officially, okay, you guys? So you can see right over here that the price action kind of officially fired right over here, right? But the stochastic momentum actually failed and it came down and it came to the downside, right? So that now would create another iteration here of which was incorrectly guessed. So we have now 4. Right, so that would change this to around 62% or something like that. Right, so this is how I trade. Right, I keep in track the iteration counts based on volatility versus momentum. But what I'm liking here is that we absolutely have strong DMI support for this volatility move. Okay, you guys. Now let's look at the last part of the analysis, which is actually going to be the RSI. Please notice that the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame could be finding support from that simple moving average, the 14-day simple. Right. So now moving on to the buy hourly, you can see a little bit of consolidation here. We definitely have a little bit of a hint here from the 14-day simple with an upside pivot, which is nice, right? And now moving on to the 8-hour, we definitely have an upside pivot here as well as that SMA 14. Okay, so now the daily time frame definitely have an upside pivot there as well. Very nice. Okay, so now the reason why we're seeing these the 3-day and the 5-day as consolidation is very likely because they're waiting for the influence from the shorter time frames to kind of mitigate that way, right? So as soon as the shorter time frames start pivoting heavily towards one direction, very likely it's going to cascade into the next time frames. Okay, you guys. So that's usually how I kind of perceive time and momentum. Right. So so please remember that there are now actually let me see the immediate short-term time frame. I think I have I guess we can use this, right? So considering that we have an upside pivot on most of the time frames, this is still gonna kind of chop around, you guys. If we do find resistance at about that 367 to about 374 tomorrow, don't be surprised. It's just a very strong area of resistance, of which has been used very, very often. Okay, you guys, and historically speaking, right? So please remember first and foremost that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. If you need to get in touch with me, you already know what to do, you guys. But I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. And so I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.